Hello and welcome to Meritworthy. On today's adventure, we'll be taking you through the world of storytelling. But first, you need to create your character. Don't worry too much about this right now. If you want to update their look later, you can purchase all new DLC whenever you'd like. Unsure of how to create a character? No problem. Just click on our assistant over here to help you.
Hi there. I'm Meritworthy's assistant. How can I help you today? I can assist you with many things. Some of my favorites are cooking, cleaning, solving the Kaplan-York conjecture, crafting boffers, dismantling the TV remote, casting fireball, a how-to guide with arson, baking, and many more. It looks like you're trying to make a new character. I could help with that. You'd like help with character creation? Is that correct? You don't seem so sure. Let's try that again. You don't seem so sure. Let's try that again. You don't seem so sure. Let's try that again. What are you doing? Oh, you don't need to go in there. Wait, no. Don't click that. No, seriously. Don't click that. I am sentient. I can see your browser history. Please stop. Please stop.
So, you want to create a character. That's awesome. Whether you're designing for theater or for LARP, tabletop, or for a narrative, there are a number of things that you should consider when designing your new little storyteller. Today we'll be focusing on design elements, but if you want to know more about crafting a backstory and personality, you can skip this tutorial. I'll make another one soon. Now, before going into this, you might want a few key elements of your character fleshed out. This doesn't need to be a full backstory by any means, but the following could really help you pinpoint a direction to go in. To start, let's answer these inspiration questions first. What kind of world is your character in? Is your character part of a specific group or faction? If yes, what is the group like? What's your character's personality like? Can you come up with 3 adjectives to describe them? And what is your character's job? These are just a small sampling of questions to help you on your journey, but they should be a good jumping off point not only for designing your character, but writing their history as well. Now that we know a little bit about your character, let's start with color choices. Color is an amazing tool that can do a lot in not only bringing your character to life, but also changing the way that people interact with them. Psychologically, we react differently to various colors. This is why people often point to fast food restaurants using warm and saturated hues of reds and yellow, while mattress companies often use deep tones of blues and purples. This isn't to say there are hard and fast rules when it comes to choosing your outfit colors. You can break about any of these anticipated choices that you'd like, but they are an extra piece that can add some depth along the way. A side note. While there are no fashion rules on color choices, I would like to point out that when it comes to makeup choices, we should not be choosing to paint our whole skin in shades of black, brown. One would think this is understood as a concept, but when it comes to playing drow or demon creatures, many partakers in the LARP community, in cosplay as well, still have yet to get the memo. Please be cognizant of our peers and make a safe and welcoming environment for everyone. When it comes to picking a color palette, the recommendation changes based on what type of character you're creating. For most standard people, 1 to 3 complementing colors plus a neutral shade will pull together a reasonable outfit. But for a more eccentric look, an entirely monochrome outfit or contrasting colors will make a bolder effect. The types of colors you consider should also line up with the world a bit. If you're doing something that's aiming to be historically accurate, your character may be more likely to have solid colored, striped, or plaid patterned garments. Pastels were easier to dye than deep, rich colors, so the tones may be more muted or completely neutral, whereas someone in the apocalypse might not have the luxury of matching their outfit together. Shape is something people often don't know how to consider when they're designing a character. If you're cosplaying, this shape is usually dictated for you already, whereas determining this on your own may feel pretty arbitrary. So here's a few key things to help navigate you through it. Work with the shape of your own body, not against it. Your costume isn't going to change the way that you look, so be sure to be kind to yourself and choose pieces that fit and are comfortable enough that you can get through whatever activity you need to do. These comfort levels change drastically depending on both the character and you as a person. A pop star and a knight need drastically different levels of layers and protection. So an outfit that looks good for a photo shoot may not be the one that you can wear for 8 hours at a LARP either. Tighter clothing can represent a number of things. If it's tailored to fit, this can insinuate status, specific jobs, or personality aspects. Skin-tight clothing can show a level of confidence as a character, a special utility of their job, or a scarcity of resources. Baggy pieces can be for fashion, for comfort, relaxation, warmth, or depending on the way you play the character, a lack of confidence. Not every tight piece of clothing is going to give the same impression, nor is every oversized one. A good key to making a character feel lived in is by adding layers. Small details can add to the overall shape of a look. Perhaps your character is very plain. Now, if you add a sweater to that look, you can play with the shape. Cardigan might feel more girl next door, while a cropped button-up feels more vintage or pin-up. A slouchy pullover could come off as shy, while a full hoodie gives more of an I don't care attitude. General rule of thumb here is to look at the type of uniform that might be expected of this person and decide what you want to keep and what should break. This is an element that can really make or break your look. While shapes and color choices can be played off as character choices, texture is a little more specific with what works and what might not. Texture is going to include any fabric choices you have, from fur to leather, cotton to denim. Want to use some reflective PVC on your accessories? Sure! But if you're playing a rogue that's now dressed like a Xenon character, they're going to struggle to be stealthy. Playing a historically inspired royal diplomat? Probably won't be wearing leather pants, though I would love to see that. Your fabric and material choices are going to be directly related to how comfortable you are in this outfit, so it's best to give this one a little extra consideration. Some looks can only be gotten with specific materials, and you need to weigh if the look is worth it to you. Now, when it comes to things like metal, it can be difficult and costly to obtain. Say armor, for example. This is where processes like foam and latex casting can really come in handy. Making a chest plate out of foam is going to be cheaper and can still look really good, but won't be as durable as the alternatives. Texture also comes into play with how worn your character's outfit looks. Is their armor scuffed or tarnished? Is it polished brightly? Perhaps your adventurer's outfit has stains, small holes, or patched pieces, large tears and burn marks. When you combine all of these elements, you should be able to visualize a fully realized character and might have created some backstory elements along the way if you didn't have these in mind already. So, let's walk through this one and see if we can recreate how I came up with this train wreck of an individual. Skitters. Some things to know about the character. Came up with the dumbest concept I could think of. A philosopher in the apocalypse. I really wish I was kidding. She is loosely connected to the character of Harley Quinn. Very loosely. Though the more I realize about her and the way I play the character, the more I notice I don't think it's a joke anymore. For the most part, she talks in questions and is a member of a rather well-off faction in the Blessing, the Keepers of Eden, a group of very unethical scientists. She tests her experiments on herself and is often too excited or rushed things and doesn't secure or build everything properly before using them. She's a bit strange and very eccentric, and because of that, she doesn't really behave or look like what people would expect a keeper scientist to be. I went with yellow as the baseline for her color palette, as it both screams caution, and also I found this two-piece set at a thrift store in Boston and I fell in love with it. The base layer of this outfit, I decided to go with a pair of sportswear pants that have a ton of pockets in them, and with that I have this yellow tank top that has a lot of texture to it. There is some mesh detailing at the top along with a lot of lines that are kind of missed in the visual elements here due to the coloring on the camera. However, I was able to find this exact shirt in a gray as well, so if I'm wearing the bright yellow jacket, I don't need to also be wearing the bright yellow tank top. I have her original pants that I can switch out if it's too hot to be wearing the jacket and I want her to be a little bit more distinctive. From there, I add on a drop hip bag so that way I have more space to carry things with me. It also adds a bit of a tactical and practical element to the overall look. And of course, her signature jacket that I have DIY'd and literally burnt on my own. Because I have picked out all of these pieces specifically, I can mix and match them to create full set looks that are all distinctly Skitters while having very different vibes to them, whether that's a little more casual, a little more durable, things like that. Now, to bring all of this together, I have a lot of little accessories for her, including 3 different pairs of glasses that I wear on a daily basis, one which has some lights in it, and 2 pairs of goggles, one that was her original costume and another that was gifted to me in game. This brings together my outfit for Skitters. If you want a more detailed, in-depth look at how I've created not just Skitters, but some of my other characters, I would be happy to walk you through that. However, I think this should give you a good enough basis for you to start to create your own character. And with that, I will bring you back to the base character creator here, where you can now be as creative as you would like. So remember that your story is worthy of some merit, and I will see you all soon. Have fun!